Yes, masks up if you have them. Hello. We are grateful to be available to each other this week at EITR. We are looking at rules. What is the spirit of a rule, and when do we need to follow the letter of the law? Thank you for joining us and being a part of Elephant in the Room. Dr. McFoxey.
Thank you so much. Welcome here. It is so good to see all of you creatures here again. I have been looking forward to meeting with you virtually and looking forward to talking about rules again. Now, one of the things that we did last week, if you will recall, is we talked about rules, rules that are good and rules that are fun and rules that are uncomfortable and rules that aren't much fun at all. So I thought, as we discussed last week, I thought we could talk a little bit about rules and why we have them. Are there good rules? Are there bad rules? And just some thoughts about that. So let's talk about that a little bit. One of the things that we did last week was we kind of went from one person, one creature to another creature. So let's do that again. And Dr. Codswallop, since we since we ended with you last time, let's start with you today. Maybe first of all, while we talk about rules, I'd just like to know how you're doing with your flying.
Would you?
How
Right.
that's going for you.
Well, I was starting to become happy, an emotion I'm not very familiar with, but I was doing quite well, actually. And the man who was fixing me and nurturing me, teaching me to fly, well, he caught some human virus. And then they say birds might be affected. When has a bird ever caught a human virus? We're different creatures. There is no relationship. So now I'm in a cage. And I hate it here, and I refuse to join in this virtual Zoom meeting. It's a waste of my time because you can cut me off. You can cut me off whenever you want. And why would I be here for something where you could just cut me off? Farewell.
Dr. Codswallop, I'm going to have. Oh, well.
Hi, Betty. We don't really want you here anyway. It's okay. We can talk a little more now he's gone.
Well,
it's hard to ever talk when he's here.
let's okay.
I
I
don't like
understand
him.
that. I understand that. Let's
He
still,
scares
even
me.
though Dr. Codswallop, please, let's still, even though Dr. Codswallop is not here, let's continue to be respectful to him. Right?
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard. It's hard. Ernie, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, I just don't like rude people. Like Dr. Codswallop, I think is very rude, and I think that sometimes like Donnie can be rude, and I don't like that.
What? Hey, whoa, hold on. Wait, just a minute. Hold it. Are you saying that I'm like him? Are you saying that he and I are
Sometimes, at least Dr. Codswallop says maybe we're alike sometimes, but you never have said that we're alike. And that hurts me a little bit. I think we're very much alike.
If we go back, if we look at the facts, look at the records, pull them out, if the doc wants to get out transcripts or whatever, however you want to go about doing it, you will see that I have been in agreement with you on a number of things, Ernie. I really have.
But not
in fact, if I may, I was just about to say that I am totally in agreement with you on your opinion about Dr. Codswallop. We are, dare I say it, alike in that way.
Right. So would you say we look alike? Because I think
I would
maybe,
not say that. No, I would not
but we
say
could.
that because
There are other ways.
dog,
Let's
I'm
let's
a
go.
donkey or an elephant, you know.
Okay, hang on a second. Just one moment.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah, Doc.
have
Yeah.
very quickly gotten off topic.
Oh,
So let's regroup.
Okay.
Let's regroup and let's continue talking about rules. Are there good rules? Are there bad rules?
sorry.
And Donnie,
It's hard
why
for me
don't
to be in the room.
Ernie, we're going to get to you, I promise, okay?
I'm just saying I'm sorry I'm in the room.
Pardon?
Oh.
I'm just sorry. It's hard for me to be in the room because I'm kind of big.
Well, yes, but you're not the only creature who's big here. We'll get to you, but we're going.
Sparky
You
is bigger.
Ernie, stop it.
Ernie, you need to wait your turn. Okay, we will get to you, I promise.
I'm done.
Donnie, let's start with you then. All right.
Okay.
Are there fun rules, good rules, bad rules?
Fun
What do you
rules.
think?
Yeah, I Doc, yeah, I would have to say, you know, if pushed on the topic, I would have to say that rules are very important, and two, there are good rules, fun rules, you know, but also some that really aren't, you know, but they're necessary. They're necessary. They need to be there. They need to be there for people's safety, you know, that kind of thing. And every now and again, we may, you know, cross paths with a rule that, you know, we don't agree with. We don't think is necessary, is good, or something to that effect. And I think that's where the discussion, open conversation can happen.
Donnie,
And
give an example of a good rule, if you can, Donnie. I don't know any rules in my house that are good.
No.
well, I'll tell you. Okay, I got one right off the bat here. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Good rule. As most of you, I believe, know, I am on a farm. All right, and part of the farm is that you know, every now and again we get these groups of kids coming in. I think from what do they call it? From a school. They all come out to the farm to, you know, figure out what the farm is all about. You know, a lot of them think eggs come from the grocery store. So this is, you know, a chance for them to come to the farm. One of the rules that the farmer has is that we've got pens for a lot of us. You know, I'm in one and the chickens are in another, that kind of thing. And the kids are not allowed into those pens because that's the rule. And there you go. To me, to my way of thinking, that's a good rule. That's a very good rule.
So the rule is good if it's for somebody else, not for you. I get it. Very good. I like it. Okay.
Simone, what are you saying?
That's not what I said. That's not.
I agree, Simone.
The little feline there seems to be putting words into my mouth, but
But you
I will say that
they can't come in your place, which is good rule. I agree. People should not be in my place. I agree.
I think hippos and bears should have hard rules in the zoo, but everybody else should be free to roam.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Hippos have hard rules in the Sudan.
No.
Wait, Ronnie, what?
I used to hippos have hard rules in the Sudan.
They do? They're not allowed to attack you?
Well, their rules rule.
Oh, so you live under hippo rule.
Oh.
I don't like that. You're bigger, Ronnie. You're better.
I'm not as mean.
No, you're not as mean, but you could, whoever is, well, I don't like that. Whoever's the meanest makes the rules.
No. That's no. Ernie. Hey, Ernie.
God,
Here we
that's
go.
the
Here we
rule.
go again, Ernie. I agree with you.
Oh,
That's an excellent point. It should not be that way. It should not be like that. I agree. Rules are there for everybody. Everybody's got to follow them. Everybody's got to pay attention to them. So yeah,
Say
I
that
agree.
in a sentence. Can you say, Ernie, the elephant, I agree with you. We're alike. Can you just say that?
I think that he did.
Well, I want to hear this. I want to hear it in a sentence.
Oh.
Ernie, the elephant. I agree with what you said. There you go. There you
Oh,
go.
that makes
There
my
you go.
day. Ooh, I'm like a donkey. You see, I told you.
That is not what he said.
I wouldn't go that far.
I am.
I wouldn't go that far. No.
Donny the donkey, I have another question. Does this rule for nobody come in your pen, is this because somebody came in your pen?
Oh.
Well, I believe trying to think back now, because it's been a while. It's been quite a while that we've had these rules, but it may well have been that in the early days when the kids were first coming to the farm, that they got in places they shouldn't have, and
How did
like
you
this.
how did you get rid of them? How did you get rid of them?
Well, I didn't. The farmer did. I mean, I put up a little bit of a fuss. I kind of, got his attention and said, "Hey, over here, look what's going on," that kind of thing. But I did not, physically remove them from the pen. That was the farmer. That was his job. That was not my job.
The farmer
I'm
is
just,
meaner. The
asking.
farmer's meaner than the kids. That's why he got rid of them.
Okay, Donnie, I think we're going to come back to that in a little bit, because it sounds like there's more there. But let's just move on just for a moment, for a little bit. Who should we talk to? Sparky, you talked about rules and how difficult rules are at home. Why don't you talk about rules that are good and maybe one that's not so good?
Can't think of any good rules.
No, there are none.
Me neither.
I agree.
Monkey.
Sparky.
My senior
My
monkey.
dad makes rules because he's big and mean.
Yeah, meanest get to make rules.
Well, not necessarily. That's not necessarily the case, in a situation such as parental rules and regulations. For the most part, they are concocted for the safety of the youngsters, That's why they are there.
My mom let me be free.
Giraffe is right. When I had my kitties, they would like to wander off, and sometimes they might get stepped on. So I say, no, kitties, stay in here. Eventually, they all got taken away, which was very sad. But while they were with me, I had to make sure they were safe.
So Simone, Ernie, we'll get back to you. I just want to touch on something. Simone, you're a mama cat then.
I am. I don't know where any of my babies are because the human make the rule, take the kitty and go somewhere else. Too many kitties in one house, I guess, for one. They can't handle more than one. But
so Simone, I'm just wondering, Sparky has talked a lot about how things are very difficult to understand why mom and dad make rules that doesn't like.
She will understand this when she has her own little baby dragon, and it's the best thing ever. You want to make sure they don't get hurt ever. So I may be understanding what her mother and father are saying because they don't want her hurting.
Okay.
You're gonna lay an egg, Sparky.
Well, someday, maybe. Sparky, what do you think about what Simone has talked about?
Well, if my mom and dad think I'm so great, how come they're just always say things mean?
Yeah.
You mean the things they say are mean, or the way they say to you is mean?
Or is it just that you think they're mean because it's what you don't want to hear?
I don't know.
Is it really keeping us safe? Me and Sparky both. And by keeping us, we can't go anywhere. We can't run free. How is that keeping us safe?
Yeah, I want to fly. I want to go and visit my friends.
Yeah. I want to run through the fields and go through the neighborhoods.
Ernie, think about this. If you're running free and you accidentally run over somebody, then they might do worse to you than put you in a cage.
I do kill
So-
things.
One person that we haven't really heard from today is Ronnie. I mean, Ronnie, you've talked a little bit, but what are some of your thoughts about what Sparky has talked about, and what she's struggling with?
Well, Sparky, I think, she just doesn't like the rules that her mom and dad give her. If I still had my mom and dad, I think they'd give me rules that I didn't want to have to obey and do. But I'd rather have parents than not have the rules.
I figure it out. We only like rules that we make, nobody else's rules.
Yeah, like my rule with you, Simone.
Yes.
That you're not allowed to monopolize the conversation.
No, I never do such a
No,
thing anyway.
She lets me talk. Yeah.
Yes. Of course, I'm so polite. I'm always very polite.
So let's kind of bring this back. We kind of started with Donnie, right? Well, we started with Dr. Codswallop, but he's not here anymore. Donnie, Donnie, the rules that you talked about on your farm, and the rules that Sparky has at home that she's having real difficulty with, right? Did you always like the rules at the farm?
I would have to looking back on it and being an honest evaluation of the situations that have been and then that have been worked through, then I would have to bluntly say no, not always. There were some times, at the beginning especially, there were those times where you would look at the rule and you'd say, what? And so it took some time to figure out that it was a good rule. It was a rule that was needed, and then it served a good purpose. No. I'm not going to say that every rule has turned out that way because that's not the case. That's not how it is. That's not life. But still, sometimes it takes a while. It takes a while to understand why a rule is there and to see why it's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so Sparky, hopefully I think this is something we're going to continue to come back to, especially as the egg gets closer to hatching. But I want to kind of stay with you, Donnie, a little bit. It really seems like there's more that's going on here.
What's
something else
up,
you would
Donnie?
like to kind of share with us?
Well, okay. I have to say that one incident, one situation, one rule building in particular did kind of hit a little close to home to me originally, and it took me a while. It took me a while to come around to understand that why rules are.
Explain this. What are you saying?
There was a thing that happened, and
what thing?
Well, I gotta say, there are times when how can I put this? Who we are might not be fully appreciated by other people, by other beings. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know
what happened.
Well, the very nature of a donkey, let's say, who we are, what we do, how we exist, that sort of thing.
The best.
We have the capacity to possibly be a little, what shall I say, stubborn at times. And so
you're the best.
Well, okay, thank you. And but still, sometimes that can be, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, at times that can be misperceived. Let's say misunderstood. It'd be another way to put it.
It's hard to be the best.
There was a particular instance where the farmer just seemed to be not too forgiving when it came to. He wanted me to do one thing, and to be honest, no, I was not in the mood. It was not something I wanted to do.
Donnie, did he hit you, Donnie?
No, he didn't. He didn't. I will
Okay.
give you that. I will give you
I
that.
would come to him.
No, he's a good guy. He has
Okay.
never done that. But it was an instance where, well, the details. Here we go. There was a birthday party at the farm. Okay. And a group of kids, as usual, a group of kids were there and they were having this birthday party for one of the kids. And as I've said before, one of my jobs at the farm is we've got this little wagon, little cart that I pull the kids around, around the fields, and they get to look at the farm, take a donkey ride, as it were, in the cart, so there you are. And I had always felt that the cart was kind of an important place, and shouldn't be befouled, let us say, with food and stuff to that effect. And then there's one kid, I think he was the birthday boy, that figures. He was the birthday boy, and he insisted on bringing his big giant lollipop with him on the donkey ride, and the farmer let him. And I refused to go. I was not going to do it. And then ultimately, you know which side of the barnyard your hay comes from. So I went ahead and I gave the ride, pulling the cart. And the next thing I know, I have got this giant lollipop stuck in the back of my mane. Not a pleasant experience. Not a pleasant experience at all. And believe me,
no.
I let the farmer know about it.
Yeah.
And so it took a little doing and a little undoing, shall we say, to get it taken care of. And so that's it's come out here before. Part of my mane is in fact missing because of this incident. And so
to have the hair's extension on you. Is that what happened?
Well, I'm not sure what the actual name for it would be, but it's
I thought you called it a prosthetic.
Yeah, that's what I've called it. That's what I've referred to it as.
Like a donkey toupee.
The lower part. There you go. Another name.
It's beautiful.
It looks good. Don't worry, Donnie. It looks good.
Thank you.
It looks very good.
Thank you.
I understand though. Stuff in your hair is no good. It's very hard.
Exactly.
Did they use peanut butter or they had to cut it out? Okay.
Oh, the kid, believe me, he wanted his lollipop back. And so he pulled and he tugged and he tugged and he pulled. And I have to admit, I inflicted a little bit of damage on the cart.
Good for you.
On the cart, not on the kid.
Well,
it's
okay. He deserved it, but it's okay.
Did you eat him?
No, it's not
my
okay.
opinion, yes, but still.
So was that self-control to go after the cart and not the kid?
It might have been. I never thought about it that way. It's a good way to look at it, I would say, because believe me, I have never been accused. That's one of the things I've never been accused of is self-control. But I guess looking back on it, that would probably be what it would be called. Yeah.
So Donnie, does your donkey toupee make you embarrassed?
No. I would have to say no. Not really. Not a lot. Not a whole lot. Maybe a little, but not tremendous. Only on occasion. Once in a while. Now and then. Yeah.
Do you have nightmares of lollipops chasing you?
Oh. No, I don't. Mostly because there have been some worse things chasing me through the farmyard over the years.
Donnie, thank you so much for sharing this with us. It's very courageous and very brave to share something like that. And so thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now, Monsignor, we haven't heard from you at all. Perhaps you would like to weigh in on this. What are maybe some of the rules of the temple, and what are some of the thoughts that you have about what people have talked about so far?
I really love observing. I just enjoy your stories. That's kind of the pastor I am. I like hearing from people and just being quiet, which is sort of nice.
Is it because you don't have any rules in the temple? You fly around because you're a monkey?
I really don't have. It's strange. It's a long story, but people are not allowed in the temple. So
where is this temple? Maybe I go there.
Well, it's in an undisclosed location, but it's lovely, and people come and visit during the day, and they leave me fruits and vegetables because they think I'm sort of important. And the other monkeys, we get the fruit and the vegetables, and sometimes we wave at them or offer them blessings or give them prayers. But yeah, that's about it.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. You have a very kind heart and a very kind of a gentle spirit about you, and you're such a wonderful addition to our group here. Thank you very much. Now, Ernie, pardon, what did you say, Sparky?
Do you throw things at the people that come?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yes, I do. And I want to talk to you specifically if you have the time, because we have underground caves, and they think they were made by dragons long ago.
Oh.
So they let the sea come in and people swim in them, and it's really beautiful. And sometimes I do fling like banana peels at people.
You fling poo? I heard monkeys do that.
It's gross.
Well, Simone said that he flies, and monkeys don't fly.
Yeah, I mean, he
in
goes
the
around
Sudan.
so quickly from thing to thing. It's
Yeah,
like
let's move on. Let's move on.
Only monkeys I've ever known have thrown poop at me. That's all I know.
Oh, that is good.
I would never throw poop at you. I would never.
But is it possible to be a monkey and a donkey? Because I like your lifestyle.
Well,
me too.
But not an elephant.
My parents bring me food, but they don't want me to pray for them.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do
no
you
one's
have to
asked me to
cook it?
pray for them either.
Sparky, do you set it on fire like a barbecue for the food?
Yeah.
That would be good. Cooked food is so nice.
He eats
Some
live.
things are better cooked. Some things are better just raw.
Oh. Well,
So
yes.
let's continue to stay on track. We're talking about rules. Remember, now Ernie, I promised we would get back to you. So let's get back to you, Ernie. You first of all talked about how you didn't like rules at all, like no rules. After listening to some of the rules that we talked about here, and what do you think now?
Well, I realized something that maybe the one rule is good, because you see, there are kids that come see me, but they can't, they throw peanuts. I don't know why, but it doesn't really help me, and I don't like to eat them, but they do throw them. But they can't come in and put lollipops on my skin. So that is maybe it's a good rule that I can't have lollipops sticking. But then again, my skin is very tough, like Ronnie's. And I don't think a lollipop would hurt me, but I don't want to try it.
It would hurt me.
I don't want to try it.
When people come into Sudan, they can't get out of their cars. So I don't have to worry about lollipops or anything else.
And that's a rule? They can't get out of their cars because the hippos tell them no?
I don't know. It's a rule, though, because they don't ever get out.
I think the hippos say no. I remember that.
The hippos might have run them over, and they say, oh, that's not a good idea.
That's what hippos do.
Actually, Ernie, in the wild, in that sort of a setting, It's sort of the reverse of where, say, you and I are particularly housed at this time. Whereas we are in our enclosures in the wild where Ronnie is located, the humans must remain in an enclosure. And the animals get to roam freely.
I would love that.
Isn't that interesting?
This
That
the
is
problem.
interesting.
Lock them all
What a
up.
wonderful discussion we've had about rules today.
No, wait, Dr.
And-
McMuffin, here is the whole problem.
Simone,
And all the people should be in cages so
Simone,
we
I'm
could eat
going to
them.
cut you off right now because we are coming to the close of our time.
And
And
again, nobody's
so-
solving my problems, but
Put the
okay.
people in
Well,
cages.
you know what? Well, what would you like to talk about next time, Simone? Maybe that's a good, place to start.
Well, here's the problem. Rules, I have rules, but nobody listens. Nobody, they pull my tail. They are messing with my stuffs. They are always making noise to me. So how come I have to live by their rules, but they don't live by my rules?
Dr.
So maybe-
McFoxy,
Just
I
don't
believe
understand.
next week's topic to ponder might be the question of freedom.
Oh,
Oh,
Not
It
for
would
humans.
allow
really
each
good.
of us to have an inner peace, a feeling of freedom, no matter where we are, whether in an enclosure or on the range.
Oh, yes.
I
I like that.
Good topic.
Remove the humans. So that's the topic. How do we get rid of the
No,
humans?
no, Ernie.
oh, yes, I like
No,
this.
no.
Ernie, that's not what we talked about.
You
Oh,
did just
No.
now.
No, that's
Nope,
not
nope,
what,
nope, nope.
that's
Lock
that's
them
not
up.
what was suggested.
Lock
We
them
have
up.
1 minute before our next session begins.
Okay.
Can you please encourage our guests to participate in pondering of freedom? Dr. McFoxy.
So freedom is something that we all want, I think. I think all creatures want freedom. And so I just want to encourage you that as you go about your weekly and your daily activities, maybe think about some of the things that you'd like to discuss next week as we talk about freedom. Thank you so much for participating, every one of you. And again, Donnie, thank you so much for sharing with us that really difficult circumstance. And it's so valuable that you trust us.
Maybe we can talk about Donnie's freedom and Ernie's freedom and Sparky's freedom and Simone getting free from her people.
yes, I
And-
could
and-
run
and
away.
even-
That would be free. But who would feed me? That's the
Oh.
question.
Well, and freedom comes with a price, doesn't it?
Thank you all for
Only way
joining
to-
this week.
We need to get rid of the humans to be free.
Ooh,
We will see you
Ernie.
next
I told
week
you not to say this.
on EITR.
Lock them up.
End scene.
A Codswallop was the Trumpster.
People are going to say.
Oh,
Oh, this was lock up humans. We can't be free.
Ah.
Elephant lives matter. That's where I'm going with it.
Now let's. Hey! I mean, I'm still sending this out on YouTube. Should I stop that stream? Okay. Yeah. Let me just FYI.